Let's jump right into this explainer, analyzing Apple's June 2026 announcement of a brand new intelligence era for their ecosystem. If you've been paying even a little bit of attention to the tech landscape, you already know that shifts of this magnitude just don't happen every day. This isn't your standard, incremental software update. It's Apple effectively rewriting the very DNA of their ecosystem. So let's cut through all the noise and break down exactly what the dawn of Siri AI actually means for you.
Now look closely at the exact phrasing Apple uses in their newsroom release to set the stage here. It says, Apple introduces Siri AI, a profoundly more capable and personal assistant. Companies operating at this massive scale do not just throw around the word profoundly on a whim, right? It's a heavy, incredibly deliberate modifier. It's telling us that the underlying architecture of the assistant has fundamentally transformed. We aren't just talking about slightly faster response times or a couple of new voice tricks. No, we're looking at a complete, top-to-bottom redefinition of what this assistant is designed to be. And honestly, this one single sentence is the absolute blueprint for everything we're going to unpack today.
So, let me ask you something. What actually makes an AI profoundly capable and personal to you? Is it the system anticipating what you need before you even say a word? Or maybe it's seamlessly connecting the dots between your calendar, your private messages, and what's happening in your real-world environment. We hear the phrase intelligence era thrown around constantly these days. But to bypass the fluff and get straight to the core, we have to demand a real definition. If we're genuinely entering a new era, the relationship between human and machine has to change at its absolute foundation. Keep that in mind as we look at how Apple is actually executing this.
All right, moving to Section 1, the dawn of Siri AI and that crucial June 2026 milestone.
Think about it like a timeline. Pre-June 2026, your interactions were almost purely functional. Command, response. You ask a question, it spits back an answer. But this specific press release acts as the exact pivot point. Post-June 2026, we enter a totally different landscape, one defined by profound integration. Apple is literally drawing a line in the sand with this chronological shift, separating the past from the future of user-device relationships, and establishing a really strict before and after scenario in their ecosystem.
Apple is making a fascinating dual claim here. It's all about what the AI can do versus how well it actually knows you. Profoundly more capable is entirely about utility, right? Action, execution, the tasks the machine can carry out. Meanwhile, profoundly personal is all about context and intimacy. Does the machine understand you, specifically? By separating these two concepts, you can really see the genius in the phrasing. Because think about it, an AI can be super capable without being personal at all, and it can be personal without being capable enough to actually get things done for you. Apple is declaring that they've finally synthesized both.
Let's zoom in on that first core pillar, a profoundly capable assistant.
To really unpack what a profoundly capable assistant means for us as end users, we have to strip away the marketing jargon and focus strictly on what the announcement text says. In the context of this June 2026 leap, capable signifies a massive expansion in execution bandwidth. It means the system is finally moving beyond just retrieving information and is now designed to take complex, multi-step actions entirely on your behalf. A profoundly capable assistant handles the invisible heavy lifting. It's the difference between asking for the weather and saying, hey, prepare my device for my trip tomorrow, and then watching the AI automatically set your alarms, pull up your boarding passes, and curate a flight playlist. It's bridging the gaps between your apps and executing workflows that used to require manual clicking and tapping. That is where the raw power resides.
Now for the other half of the equation. Moving from function to integration, Pillar 2, a profoundly personal AI.
If capability is the engine, well, personalization is the steering wheel. As it relates to the new Siri AI, a personal assistant in this era means profound context awareness. It's about the AI understanding the incredibly specific landscape of your daily digital life, your habits, your relationships, your schedules, and how you uniquely use your Apple devices. To be profoundly personal, the AI has to safely and securely reference the data that makes you, you. It means when you give a command, the assistant doesn't just parse the literal words, it processes the intent behind them based on everything it knows about your routines. This shift from a generic, one-size-fits-all voice assistant to a deeply personalized intelligence fundamentally changes how you navigate your entire day.
Okay, here's a wild little detail hiding in plain sight. Look at the actual URL structure of the press release. By permanently fusing Siri and AI together right in the core web address, Apple is structurally signaling that the old Siri is gone. This metadata is actually highly revealing.
It tells us that Apple deliberately chose their main newsroom channel to drop this in June 2026, effectively planting their flag for the year. Explicitly including Siri AI in the URL string instead of just something like Siri Update or iOS features shows that the branding itself has officially evolved. Honestly, that structural detail alone confirms the sheer magnitude of the strategic pivot we're analyzing here.
So bringing it all together, let's look at the big picture in our final section, the impact of the new intelligence era.
When you push past the typical tech marketing buzz, you realize these aren't just fancy adjectives. They are two absolutely necessary halves of a complete equation. Because if you only have raw capability without any personal context, the intelligence just fails. It falls flat. You need the ability to interact with complex software, sure, but you also desperately need the personal context to ensure those interactions are actually useful to you. By officially rolling out this specific standard in June 2026, Apple set a totally new benchmark for what we should expect from our devices. They've stated, on the record, that the machine will now understand both the task at hand and the actual human requesting it.
Which brings us to our final thought. Now that we understand the anatomy of this June 2026 announcement, those dual pillars of profound capability and deep contextual personalization, how will Apple's ecosystem shift actually alter your daily digital life? When your devices transition from being these passive tools you have to manage into active, intelligent collaborators that know your routines and have the power to execute them, the way you work, communicate, and create is inevitably going to transform. The dawn of Siri AI is officially here. The framework is set. The only question left is exactly how you are going to leverage this new intelligence era. Take some time to think about that, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.